You're back!
I'm Mandy.
I'm Dan.
Subscribe to
BuzzChomp.
Woo!
Your Counterpart reaction. Whew. I gotta drop the spoiler alert because the latest episode of Counterpart had a major bombshell. Just can't ignore it. I'll say it again, spoiler alert, because if you didn't watch the latest episode of Counterpart, or you didn't watch the last 5 minutes, you missed the bombshell. Baldwin's liaison, who they've been sexually involved since the beginning, is also Peter's wife. Whoa. This makes you think, because we've heard about Peter's wife from the very beginning. The show is so smart. They mentioned her, this character, in episode 1. But we never met her. And it didn't even click to me that we maybe had actually met her, and we just didn't know that that was his wife. Which other characters have we not been introduced to officially, but have been talked about incessantly? Wowzers. So, this liaison for Baldwin, the assassin, I believe was the inaugural member of the school to come over to our side from the other side as a child, be instantiated into a family, presumably, grow up, assume her identity, and then infiltrate our side's 3rd and 4th floor. Now, the confusing part about this bombshell is that Peter's wife, her father, is in diplomacy on the 4th floor, like above everything. He's the head of diplomacy, for Christ's sake. So, is he also involved in the conspiracy? Or, because all of these children trained at the school are like semi-assassins, did she kill her other as a kid, murdering a kid, and then assume her life? Or did they adopt her? And we just don't... There's some way that she, as a child, like probably 10 to 12, infiltrated this family who is involved in diplomacy, and now the man is leading diplomacy. She marries Peter, gets Peter the job because of who her dad is, and then is stealing all of his documents. So Peter, unbeknownst to himself, is the mole. He is the mole he's been looking for, and he doesn't even know it until he sees the coffee stain that lines up with the mug he's drinking out of, and then he puts 2 and 2 together that someone photocopied his private documents in his safe. This means his wife has figured out the code to his safe. She is taking the documents from inside his safe, photocopying them, and then distributing them. Somehow they ended up in Emily's hands, and she funneled them to Other Howard. You see the inherent problem with this document transfer? Other Howard, who we assume is probably on the good guy's side, if we're going to pick good and bad, it's not really black and white. That's why there's all those pieces in the game going on at the beginning of the Counterpart in the credit sequence, because this whole show is gray. Everyone's good, everyone's bad at one point in time. Both Howards are kind of meeting in the middle. One was on one extreme, one was on the other, and they're graying up over time. But Other Howard got documents that helped him with something, presumably to find the same person who leaked them to him in the first place. Now, this kind of makes sense because Other Howard is working with Pope, and Pope is one of the leaders of the school. We can make that assumption about Pope because someone fed him information, the guy running the Truth or Dare challenge, if you will, with the eye test. He had 6 cell phones. Picked up one, took the call, put it down, picked up another, made a call, and all the documents at the school are burned to the ground within like 30 to 45 minutes before our Howard and other Emily and Ian can show up. So Pope, who is up high in the school, helped facilitate this liaison assassin to go over to our side, grow up, become Peter's wife, steal documents, to feed them to Emily, which took them over to Howard. I don't understand how our Emily is involved in funneling secret documents to the other side when that's supposed to be a bad guy activity. Unless we had it wrong all along, and our Emily's the evil Emily, she just happens to be in a coma, and the other Emily is actually, which kind of we know for now, is a good guy. She's nice, Ian's kind of nice. They have tough sides. We've seen their bad side. We've questioned them and not trusted them at times. Both of them are ultimately on the side of good. this bombshell just sends ripples effects through every character in the show. Ulrich figured out that Peter is the mole. But Ulrich gotta know that Peter's not smart enough to be the actual mole. I like Peter, but he's kind of like the audience liaison, because along with him, we're learning all of these things. As he discovers them, we discover them. There are very few things we've actually figured out in this show that Peter didn't figure out for us, basically. So Ulrich figured out it's him. Peter figured out it's his wife. Ulrich is going to get that information pretty quickly. I mean, this is confusing because we don't know how Comatose Emily fits into the equation. She ended up with the stolen documents from the mole, who is Peter's wife's Peter. And then they got over to Other Howard, who we assume is good, yet what did he actually use them for? We don't know. He was working with Pope, who is kind of good, but mostly bad, but maybe not. He's just protecting the school, which his ultimate plan for the school is to destroy our side. Because that's what those 3 individuals that came across were for, and they have the same liaison as Baldwin, who wants to murder everybody. Do we really know who's good and bad? I don't think so. That's the bombshell fallout, people. Peter's wife, oh my god. I guess she goes both ways. Is there anyone that doesn't in Counterpart? Subscribe to the BuzzChomp YouTube channel because you don't want to miss a minute of my Counterpart videos. This show is getting insane. Comment below. What did you think of this bombshell? Do you trust Peter now that his wife is the mole? Or is it really just Peter the mole and his wife is secondary? I don't know. Woo! Your Counterpart reaction.
Thanks for watching BuzzChomp.
Subscribe and share.
Subscribe and share.
Subscribe and share.
Share.
Woo!